And Heather, I'm going to get you to do the final one here as well of this series, this group, and you can get to choose who it is, and then we'll tell you what the statement is.
Gavin is coming up. Gavin,
Hi,
love to
Gavin,
hear
you're
from
on.
you. Yes, global. I know he's just returned from Vietnam, so
All right.
yeah.
So, Gavin, how's it going for you?
Very good, thank you.
All right.
Very, yeah, very insightful, interesting.
Yeah. The statement I've got for you, and I'll hand it over once I do the statement, is may our planet be a beacon of peace where the diversity of humanity is celebrated and respected. So may our planet be a beacon of peace, comma, where the diversity of humanity is celebrated and respected.
May our
Right.
may our
Really.
planet. Okay, shall I say
Yep.
it? May our planet be a beacon of peace, where the diversity of humanity is celebrated and respected.
Okay. Heather, I'll let you take it over from there.
Yeah, I certainly got that you'd like to believe it. It's just not quite there yet. Would you agree? That's sort of like would be the ultimate. What does it mean to you when you're saying that?
Well, the first thing that came to me when Barry first started reading that was that image of the Earth when people first went out into space, and they saw the hole for the first time. In fact, that image of the hole was basically there for everyone to see, not just those that experienced it directly. And that understanding, I think, that has evolved from that since that time, particularly that everything is connected. I think that really had a big impact in terms of bringing that into people. It certainly did for me, and bringing that into my consciousness. And it's something I feel, I mean, even when I was saying that statement, I feel very strongly about it, about that celebrating and respecting the diversity of humanity.
It's awesome. Yeah, thank you. Actually, Jenna, you're coming up as well. Would you like to comment on that too?
Sure. Yeah, I think maybe if it's coming up as a stress, it's hard to believe that the desire is there just when you see so much. I just see so much non-celebrating of diversity. So, yeah, that's definitely the hope.
Absolutely. Hope's a big word, isn't it?
Yes,
And
yes.
yeah, something that is certainly part of all of us, I'm sure. Um, I think we're just going to clear this. It's such a big one that sits within us all, and I really feel like everyone just really relax. It's like just focus internally, so that if we can all really just take a moment and breathe down, down into our solar plexus, and really envisage this beautiful earth in front of us where the grass is getting greener and the sea is getting bluer and the laughter and the everything is just evolving and becoming stronger, and as we do celebrate, we celebrate and respect humanity as a whole. So if you can just actually bring that within, just while we clear it, let's really make it and if you're feeling distracted, just bring it in. So we're all in this space together because we are all connected. Deeply connected. And again, it's just that we kind of know, but this is the deep knowing. Thank you. Gavin, could you just say that, please?
May our planet be a beacon of peace, where the diversity of humanity is celebrated and respected.
Thank you. That's very strong, very strong. How about you, Jenna? Would you like to say it, please?
May our planet be a beacon of peace where the diversity of humanity is celebrated and respected.
Respected. Great. I'm just checking everyone in the group. And yeah, well done. Well done. And thank you, Gavin and Jenna, for your contribution and everyone's contribution with the energy as we cleared that statement. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, that's part 2 of 3 as we dive in deeper into this exploration. So again, I'm going to put you into groups. Again, you've got 3 minutes just to share what's coming up for you. And even if it's what's the best thing, what's coming up, what's changed. I'm really interested in what's changed for you. So I'm going to open up the rooms and then you've got 3 minutes to be back. All right, welcome back everyone. And just want to hear a couple of comments, what may come up and what's happening for people at this point. Anyone like to share anything that's coming up? Yes, Gavin.
Yeah, what's come up for me, what came up for me just before we broke out into that session is just there are already a lot of good things happening in the world. There are a lot of peace initiatives, a lot of good examples of people working together and cooperating and celebrating their diversity. And it's like that. When I think of diversity, I also think of a forest. It takes many components to make a living forest.
Yep.
And it's just about reigniting that connection with the natural world. And I see so much of that happening. And it's important not to lose sight of it, to actually bring it out into the light more.
Okay, thank you. That's a really good segue to where we're moving to. I just want people to know that, 500 years ago, or 1,000 years ago, I guess, people lived in their little tribes and they thought that was it. And then eventually we fought with the people around us and then we sort of married them, I guess, and the tribes became communities. And then another century or two later, it became all those other communities fighting each other and then eventually became a country. And it was a flat country because we thought the world was flat and the water was the boundary line. And then we start going across the oceans and we recognize there's other planets and other countries on this planet and we start fighting with them normally, don't we? The way we do it. And then eventually we make peace and become friends, hopefully, and start working towards what we're doing now is a global family. And what we have here is an example of a global family. Now, to think this is the end of the equation is as naive as the two people fighting off in their own little, neighborhood who thinks that's the entire world. And the fact that we've got to an entire planet, a lot of the information that's coming up in the global group is we're getting close to off-world beings becoming public. Like most of us recognize that they're already here. And the next stage is for the government to become public. And I had this information that came through once and I shared it with the group. And since sharing it with the group, I've been finding that more and more things are being set up to be able to make this public for the world. And my intent today is to be proactive in galactic peace. So when this happens, we're not going into panic mode to start with, but recognize we can come from a place of peace to start with. Does that make sense to people? But let's be proactive, and rather than just trying to clean the mess of all this stuff that's happening, let's be proactive. And it may be that when it does become public, I sort of think they may not even just become public to the governments because they may not be the best people to handle this. And it might be groups like us and other groups that exist that they become public to first. So I want the third segment today to shift from inner peace to world peace to galactic peace. And let's clear galactic peace and have that as a process. And Heather, I'm going to bring you on for the very first statement. So we're going to bring you on as well. What comes up when you hear that?
Oh, it's like, hallelujah. Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, it's a bit that way, isn't it? Like it makes sense, doesn't it, to
Mm.
take that next step?
Well, I just don't feel that we're that naive to think we're the only planet that has some form of life on. I mean,
Exactly.
our ego isn't that big, surely.
Okay.
Mm.
So I've got 3 statements specifically around this for us. Okay, everyone happy to clear this? Okay, the fact that you're all still here, some of you look very excited, some of you look very nervous. So it's sort of a bit of both. So this is a good place to be. And I've actually presented this first of all to the entire peace group that Claudia and I were at, and we actually got to clear these same statements with that group as well. And they were sort of like blown out of the water as well because they had to deal with what we're doing and then deal with all of a sudden we're talking galactic peace to them. Let's go through each of the statements and we'll see how we go. So the first statement for you, Heather, is I imagine a world where intelligent beings from different planets coexist in harmony and mutual understanding. So I'll say it again, I'll get you to say it. I imagine a world where intelligent beings from different planets coexist in harmony and mutual understanding.
Okay. Yeah, very powerful. I I imagine a world where intelligent beings from different planets coexist in harmony and mutual understanding.
Okay, you got so close.
Mm, I can feel it a bit. Like, really?
So what's
How
the
does
bit that comes up? I'm interested in the bit. Like I know most of it are going like yes, like clap if you really would like that one. Like let's all just
yeah.
like let's support them, and they might sort of. We might have a guest speaker after this class. No, just through the break, we'll see who lands. Okay.
I think, yeah, for me, it was the mutual understanding. It was still that little edge
Yeah.
on mute. Yeah. Like, okay, let's see how that pans out. Yeah.
So what about the fact that they might learn from us as much as we learn from them? That to me
Okay.
is true friendship.
Yeah.
And I had someone sit down with me once and ask me about my concept of God, and much of my concept of God at that time was still sort of like God the parent. You know how it's also drummed into us. Like there's the father, it's going to tell us what to do and punish us if we don't, sort of stuff. And she said that doesn't sound like growth. Like with our own children, we don't want to be standing over them for their life, going, "You make sure you do the right thing." At some point, my relationship with my children shift from a parent relationship to a friendship relationship. And that's a sign of growth on both parties. And I think it's the same when we get to this whole galactic aspect. That it's not then done of fear, it's done to coexist in harmony and mutual understanding. And I think we're in the best position to recognize that.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally see what you're saying, and too, I feel like I keep on thinking we can learn far more from them than what we can teach them. I mean, I know there's an element, but it's like,
But
yeah,
maybe we're teaching them love and understanding, compassion, emotions. Maybe they're a non-emotional group, and we're teaching them about. We don't know. Like we're limiting ourselves on what that looked like, and
love
maybe
it.
teaching them about perseverance of how we work through all the crap that we've done the last 10,000 years, and we managed to work through it and actually get to the other side. Wouldn't that be a great example for another? So let's clear this. And we're just going to clear these fairly quickly because I want to give you a chance at the end of the 3 to have a chat. So, okay, so I'll get you to say again, please. I imagine a world.
I imagine a world where intelligent beings from different planets coexist in harmony and mutual understanding.
Awesome. How's that feel?
Oh, great. Yeah, just that edge is, yep, absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, awesome. I want to go straight into the second one. Who's going to get the second one, please, Heather?
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay. Jenny, you're coming up.
All right. So I'm going to give you the statement and I'll let you do it. So I'll get everyone, the statement's quite a long statement too, so I'll get everyone to write this down. Peaceful cooperation among civilizations from distant galaxies. Peaceful cooperation among civilizations from distant galaxies is the path to a harmonious and enlightened cosmos.
Did you say that one again, Barry?
Okay, peaceful cooperation among civilizations from distant galaxies is the path to a harmonious and enlightened cosmos.
Right, Jenny, would you, shall I just say it piece by piece, or did you get that down?
No, I would like piece by piece, please.
Okay. Right, so peaceful cooperation
Peaceful cooperation
among civilizations from distant galaxies
among civilizations from distant galaxies
is the path to an enlightened cosmos.
is the path to an enlightened cosmos.
Cosmos. Okay, yeah, there was a bit of stress on that. I'm sure yes, you probably felt that. So what does that mean to you? Where do you think the stress is? And what does it mean to you?
Uh, um, it means that, you know, everybody in the universe and the cosmos should be peaceful with each other and get along, pretty much. Because if we go to war, we're gonna just kill ourselves, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So do you believe that? Do you believe that 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 they are getting along? I mean, obviously what's going on out there as well.
I do
What's your
feel like people Do you feel like people are getting along? Because just on this planet alone, there's so many cities that are developed. You know, not everybody's going to get along, but it's more majority are getting along.
yeah,
If not,
yeah, that not okay. Feels like there's someone else that would like to be part of this. I can test, or is there anyone that specifically would like to say anything related to this? Or because it's a big one, it's huge as far as okay, who's coming through? Actually, Caroline, you're coming through. Caroline, Carolyn,
Carol,
from the state, from the States.
yep.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So what came up for you when that was? Did you want me to read it again for you?
Nope, I can see it in the chat.
Yeah.
What came up for me is that I'm still stretching my mind to accept that that exactly exists. So peaceful harmony or peaceful cooperation is awesome, but the existence is what I struggle with.
Yeah, the existence. What
Yeah.
so what would it mean? What if it did exist and we did
Yeah.
have peace? What would that mean to you? How would you see that if there was peaceful existence?
I think it shifts the power for positive to, there's more goodness in the world, there's more light in the world, there's more happiness, there's more cooperation, rather than the focus just being on our little world. Because my heart knows that there's more out there. My brain is not willing to really accept that yet.
Yeah. So you feel like you're caught up in your brain, and if we brought it down into our heart and we were heart-based with it, do you think that would make a difference?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, let's clear it. Okay, so actually this feels enormous. Might be here for a while. Wow. And it's like this integration will certainly occur. Okay. Right, so we had Jenny. Could you just say that sentence again, please? Would you like me to piecemeal it for you?
Yeah, can you please?
Okay. Peaceful cooperation among civilization.
Peaceful cooperation
Cooperate. I'll start again. Sorry, it's probably my accent. Peaceful cooperation
peaceful
amongst
cooperation amongst
amongst civilizations from distant galaxies
amongst civilizations from distant galaxies
is the path to an enlightened cosmos.
is the path to an enlightened cosmos.
And sorry, I meant to say and harmonious and enlightened cosmos.
Harmonious and enlightened cosmos.
Lovely. Well done. How about you, Caroline? Would you like to say it, please?
Sure. I'm gonna need help. Peaceful cooperation among civilizations from distant galaxies is the path to a
Harmonious and enlightened cosmos.
harmonious and enlightened cosmos.
Brilliant. Thank you.
I feel it in my heart.
Yeah, feel in your heart. Let's all just breathe.
Okay, we've got one more to do, and then we're almost on the home straight here. So, Tawny, can I bring you on for this one, please?
Hi, Barry.
How's it going today, Tawny?
It's going good.
All right. Final statement for us before we get a break. And the statement is galactic peace begins with our hearts and minds. Within our hearts and minds. So galactic peace begins within our hearts and minds.
Galactic peace begins within our hearts and minds.
So what comes up when you hear that?
What comes up is, I think, having peace with the individual first, and then it branches out through my mind, through how I see things and how I interact with the things around me. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what comes up for me. It needs to start.
It's almost there. It feels like it's there. And I just want to clear the last bit for all of us. And again, we're all clearing this individually, collectively, and then out to the world. So can you say galactic peace begins within our hearts and minds?
Galactic peace begins within our hearts and minds.
Well done. Okay, thank you. How's that feel?
It feels really good.
Awesome. Okay, well done. Congratulations. All right, for the final time today, I'm going to for this group, and then we're going to have a break. I'm going to put you into one more lot of breakout rooms, and the same process to see what comes up after looking at the whole idea of galactic peace. We want to welcome everyone back, and we've got about 8 minutes at the most that we need just to complete. And I really want to just give anyone that's got a comment to make about what's happened for them today, and whether it's about internal peace, world peace, or global peace. And I know Caroline needs to go, so thank you, Caroline. Caroline, I'm going to bring you on first. Is there any comment you want to make before you jump off?
That I really enjoyed the last breakout room because it was kind of a support for me, with me opening my heart and also stretching my mind a little bit on possibilities.
Yeah,
So
that's
it was
what
good.
we're here for, is to do that, isn't it? All right, thank you.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
That's all right. Does anyone, if you've got your hand up, and then just raise your hand electronically if you've got to want to come on and have a comment for the whole group. It's got to go. Yes, Ariana, let's start with you.
Some people I've listened to recently have suggested that the war in the Middle East actually has nothing to do with humanity and the people on the ground, that there's actually some kind of portal or stargate or whatever that would allow us to connect to more galactic interdimensional beings or whatever places, and that they don't want this to be activated or they want to be in control of it. And so the easiest way to have control of that piece of earth is to have all the human beings living on it kill each other off.
Okay. So,
And so,
again, I don't want to get caught into.
right. But I'm just saying it expands the concept of where does peace live?
Sure. And one thing I know is there's more happens outside than we all know. We get that.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And who knows what's true?
Okay, thank you. Cheryl, I'd love to hear your comment today on what's happened. Cheryl? You're on mute. Still on mute. You're just not being able to hit the unmute button there. You must be on your phone trying to find it. I'll let you find the unmute button for a second. Is anyone else would like to share what's happened for them today? Any insights that they have while Cheryl's trying to find the unmute button on the thing? We'll give you a chance. It'll be there somewhere. Gervin?
Yeah, well, what's come up for me is that there's, I think, reactivity from fear is something that really is a big ripple out that creates inner and outer conflict without a shadow of a doubt, which is what you started the whole session with. So, yeah.
What we've actually been doing in this session is creating a ripple of love. That's what we're actually doing. So rather than coming from a place of fear, we're actually all coming from a place of love, whether it's internal, world, or galactic. All right. Anyone else like to share? Anyone else like to share? Latanya.
Sorry, I kept going in and out, and I was like, what is that about? And so what I realized it is about that I've been awakened to is truly my presence. Yeah. So when I set the intention of love, I mean, the universe is going to swallow it up and give it right back. And just being accountable for what my intention is. And I love the idea of peace because it brought to my memory the times that I have chosen to be present and have the intention of peace. And actually walking, it has happened many times, walking through gunshots, like guns up, firing, and my intention was peace. I mean, nervous as all get out, but just like walking in love and peace and guns being dropped by their side. Grateful that the presence of peace was there. So one, they wouldn't get arrested, and two, they didn't really want to do it or be there. So it just reminds me that whether it's internal, a choice that I make, it literally ripples through the galaxy.
Wow, thank you. And Cheryl, we've got you up.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened there. I've kind of taken myself out of the video and I don't know how to get back in. So I've loved it. The first two for peace, inner peace and world peace I found very moving, and I agreed with all the statements. I was saying to the other group was that global peace was galactic peace was a puzzling concept to me because I've never thought of beings on other planets as being hostile. Yeah. I've always felt that people in the rest of the universe or other universes were going to be a lot more intelligent. and
Yeah,
peace
I
is
agree.
what we are.
I'm not actually worried about those people. I was worried about us. So,
Yeah, I'm more worried about us than anyone from outer space. So,
all right, thank you.
so
Thank you for that feedback.
galactic
Great
peace.
feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, Jenna, we're finishing up with you. Jenna, did you want to comment? How was today for you?
Hey, it was good. I mean, if I were really being to be very honest and vulnerable, that it's a stretch for me. And so I really am feeling into the there's two sides of me. One side that's like, this is this a little kooky? And then another side of me says, of course, we're not the only humans in the cosmos. You know, so I'm feeling a real rub and maybe even a little bit of resistance, and I can feel it and see it.
Okay, great. And I think having that awareness is so good. And the purpose of today was to do that. Let's stretch
Yeah.
and see what happens. And we're all still alive and we're all still happy. Heather, do you want to finish up? Anything you'd like to say before we have a break?
Yeah, well, for me, it's been huge in the area of diversity. I've totally reframed and how I feel about that area. And I was particularly in that statement, may our planet be a beacon of peace, where the diversity of humanity is celebrated and respected. And it also, for me, it also relates to the galactic area as well. You know, the diversity that that we are experiencing and will experience. That hey, it's okay. We just deal with it step by step and with love and compassion.
Yep. And I love the last statement that ultimately begins with our own hearts and minds. So at the end of the day, it starts there, and we're just allowed to go out in the world. So my wish is that we find internal peace that will lead to world peace, that will lead to galactic peace. So thank you very much for what we've achieved today.